We start with the storm hammering New Mexico for a second straight day. For a while, even Albuquerque got into the act with blizzard-like conditions. But the big story right now is in the East Mountains. It's been dumping there for most of the day, and all that snow is causing major problems along I-40. We start our live team coverage with Jim Winchester. He's live at Cedillo Hill. Jim?
And Jessica, here at Cedillo Hill, it has just stopped snowing. That is the good news. But earlier, a nasty combination of heavy snows along with fierce winds has caused I-40 at this moment to be shut down between Moriarty and Santa Rosa. Now, you can take a look behind me and see right now at Cedillo Hill that traffic is moving through at this hour. The roads are snow-covered and slippery. However, plows are doing a pretty good job at keeping things clear for the most part. Now, this afternoon, blizzard-like conditions led to at least 8 crashes between the Tierras Canyon and Klein's Corners. While I-40 from the city of Moriarty is still closed right now, folks are hoping that it can be opened up sometime later this afternoon. Now, there were a total of 8 crashes in the span of 1 hour earlier this afternoon, and that caused a lot of concern and prompted state police to shut things down. Now, to give you an idea of just how much snow that we're talking about right now, we have a little bit of a measurement stick here that we can show you. Now, at this particular location, you're looking at about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. But that's here on Cedillo Hill, and that's also a little deceiving because the winds have been blowing a lot of these snows all across the area. In other areas around the East Mountains, such as along Highway 14, we're hearing reports of snow up to 1 foot deep. Let's go back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Jim. And there's still more weather on the way. Ian's here tracking the latest. Ian?
That's right, Jessica. The good news is the bulk of the precipitation is starting to make its way as the core of our storm starts to shift into the state and into the northeast. Let's take the map full. I want to step over here and show you kind of what we're talking about. This right here is this big line. That is our cold front firing off a lot of rain showers. And anything behind the cold front is going to be snow because we have dropped temperatures significantly. Now, that's the core of our storm right there, and even around in Arizona, we still see some snow streaming in, and that's going to mean continued rain showers for a good portion of the state, or at least the central mountains, as we get into the next few hours and the overnight hours. 31 degrees right now in Albuquerque, so any snow we do get, and we may pick up 1 inch overnight and a little more possibly into the early morning hours, it will stick with the temperature of 31 degrees. So earlier, a lot of it did melt, but that's not going to happen from now on. You can see that cold air just streaming on into the state. There's that well-defined cold front firing off those storms. There is some traffic issues on 285 from Artesia to Carlsbad. Not quite snow there yet, but dust is blowing around, so that's going to be a driving concern. We have a lot more to talk about weather-wise. How much snow can you expect tonight? When will it stop? And very, very frigid temperatures on the way. That's coming up.
And Jim just showed us the problems this storm is causing along I-40 east of Albuquerque. But earlier today, all of that weather was doing the same thing out west. Then it slammed straight into the city. A wallop of winter west of Albuquerque. A whiteout on I-40 this morning, and snowpack roads made it dangerous for drivers.
It's ice. It's like an ice skating rink.
Drivers slowed down. Others came to a complete stop after a multi-vehicle crash on westbound I-40 past Laguna. That side of the interstate was shut down for 3 hours while crews cleaned up the mess. Sky Ranger video shows plows trying to keep up with the snow. The storm then pushed into Albuquerque. It came down hard, and it was tough to see on the roads. Every part of the city got covered with snow from downtown, across the west side, in Rio Rancho, and in the Heights. But as dramatic as it was, it only took about 15 minutes for that band of snow to push through the city. The capital city has also been seeing a lot of action. This is video from our Santa Fe webcam. At one point, it was snowing so hard you really couldn't see much. They've had about 2 inches up there today. But that's nothing compared to what's happening in other parts of the state. News 13's viewers have been sending us pictures all day of what's happening in their backyards. Here's what the animals have been dealing with at the Surprise Valley Ranch in Sapillo, just north of Las Vegas. Jane Bravik sent us this photo of a massive snowdrift down in Silver City. And here's a look at what's been piling up outside Shailene Stevens' home in Los Alamos. And Michelle Escobar sent us this shot from Chama. If you want to share your pictures, just go to krqe.com and click on Report It. Travel is treacherous across the western two-thirds of the state right now. As you saw earlier, I-40 is terrible from Laguna all the way through northern Arizona. A nearly 200-mile stretch of the interstate is actually closed in that state. You'll also want to use extreme caution in the Silver City area, where Highway 90 is closed all the way to Lordsburg. And in northern Rio Arriba County, be very careful along US 64 and up near Chama. Those are the worst roads, but there are travel trouble spots all over the place, from the Boot Hill through the metro and on into Colorado. If you have to drive tonight, check the state road conditions hotline at 511 before you head out. And stay with News 13 and KRQE.com for continuing winter storm coverage, including your full forecast. That's coming up in just a few minutes.